Hello guys! Welcome to my first video of exploring React packages which may help you in building your application optimized and faster. In React, state plays a crucial role in building dynamic and interactive user interface. When the state of a component changes, React automatically re-renders the component to reflect those changes in the user interface. So state plays an important role in building a high-performance app. So here is the first package which will help in building high-performance app. Legend State. Legend State is a super fast and powerful state library for modern JavaScript apps. Legend State lets you make your renders super fine-grained, allowing only the leaves of your component tree to re-render when required, thus making your apps go faster and removing unnecessary overhead from React's render cycle. Let's dive into this package. First, I will show you a normal app which uses React State to handle data. We will see how many times a component re-renders. If a component re-renders, then we will check whether it was genuinely required or it was just a waste. Here is an overview of what we will build. Our parent component, which is app, contains two components, component 1 and component 2. The parent component have a state which contains age and name, and state is passed to the components as a props. Component 1 has the right to change the name and component 2 has the right to change the age of the state. Here is our app which is built in normal React State. We have our state here with name and age. To display how many times our parent component is re-renders, we've declared a constant render count. Here is our two components, component 1 and component 2. Let's explore component 1. We have our render count. Let me update the text. We are passing the state to our components to display as well as change the state. Here is our function to change the name. We are using a function to randomly generate a string. Same process goes for component 2, displaying the data and changing the age in the state. We are using a function to randomly generate a number. Here is our function to generate number and string randomly. Here you can see our render count is 1 initially. Let's execute. You can see our render count is incremented. The problem here is our parent as well as children component re-renders. The parent don't even use the state to display or update the state. It just re-renders if the value of its state changes, which is normal in React, but in heavy app, this may cause performance issue. In React, if you use a component in the parent and don't pass any state as props to it, then also it will re-render if the parent state changes. For better understanding, let's create component 3. You can see if our state is changed from component 1 or component 2, then component 3 is also re-rendered, which is a huge drawback. To overcome this issue, we will use Legend State Management package. Deleting the component 3, let's create another file for Legend State. Here is our basic setup. In Legend State, we declare our state using useObservable key instead of useState of React. Let's import our package. We will declare data with name and age. I forgot to mention that we need to add Enable React Tracking. You only need to enable this once in your app's entry point. It is required to enable this function. Let's pass our data as props to our child components. Now to display data in Legend State, we use Get function. If you don't use Get function with your state, then you will get a proxy value. You can explore more information on their website. Let's add a button to change our data state. In Legend State, you change the data using set function. Let me copy the generator functions. Copying the code from component 1 and changing the details. Let's refresh it. I forgot to pass the data as a props. Refreshing again. Let's add render count to our components. Refreshing again. Let's execute. You can see only the child component re-renders without worrying the parent. In fact, the state is in the parent just like our React State example. Let's make it more optimized using Legend State. We will use memo from Legend State. We will remove this. Declare memo. Memo takes a function to execute, which will be the Legend State variable. Forgot to import memo. Let's do the same for the age. You can see that component 1 is rendered only one time, and after that it does not re-render. We will replicate the same in component 2. Refresh it. Parent and children are rendered only one time. Let's explore a little more of Legend State. We will switch back to React State app to first understand the issue. We will add an input box to change the name. Refresh it. You can see the whole app re-renders when we provide input. This is worst scenario. Let's see how Legend State handles this issue. Declare the input box. Provide required parameters. You can change the value of Legend State directly or using the old way. Both works. Sorry, I forgot to add the key I want to update. This works same as React app. We will use reactive element of Legend State. For using this feature, we need to add Enable React Components in App's entry point. Import reactive first. Add reactive to our input. Remove on change. Make sure to add $sign to your value attribute. Refresh it. You can see none of the component re-renders, which is huge plus point. Here we are done with basics of Legend State. This is the minimum learning you require to implement Legend State in your app and make it fully optimized. If you want more methods to be explored of Legend State, then please comment. What package you want me to explore in depth, you can comment below. Like and subscribe if I helped you in any way. Thank you.